Hi, I actually went through process number 11, ask and is given, and I went through it myself with someone else, Scott. He took me through this process, and what I really got from this process, from this particular process, see, the thing is, I at times struggle from overwhelm, too much to do. And just like my thoughts are racing and running, and there's like sometimes there are like a million thoughts at a time going through my mind, which really tires me out and takes me off focus and momentum with what I really want to do or need to do or get done. And so this process was perfect for that because it's really for me, it's like it's about setting intentions, but it's not just about setting intentions. In fact, what I got from this process is the importance of pausing and but not pausing and thinking, pausing before, like every time, say, I go from like one task or one situation and move to the next, even if it's like from working on a project to making dinner, I'm entering a new segment. Every time I go into, say, making dinner and the phone rings and I choose to answer the phone, I'm entering into a new segment. So, really recognizing that. And before I went through this process this morning, I didn't see these things as segments. I just saw it as all like jumbled up together, and maybe that's why my mind gets so overwhelmed because it's like it's scattered from one thing to the next thing, and then I think like I have to get 10 things done in the day, even though I know and I have more training that doesn't need to be that way. Focus on one thing at a time, but sometimes in my mind, that's easier said than done when I'm really in it, right? And so this process really helped me to stop, pause, and really see the reason why I go through these processes as it's related to me, because I know I truly, truly believe that they work. Like I even said in one of my other conversations or videos, that there's nothing more powerful than this book. Like, this will be the most powerful, um, significant book from my library, next to another book I'm going through, which is a big book. But this is the highest of the highest, and I know that. And this is the answer for me. And so, even though I may be a little bit skeptical, how is this going to work? Like, my mind just goes into that, back into that worry, right? And so, um, but deep down, I believe that if I just embrace this process, it's going to work. And just doing it for 1 week. So first of all, let me actually read the paragraph that I went through. That explains it better. So, of course, your segments will not be just as we have offered, as they will not be the same from day to day. In the beginning, you will find that you're not so quick to identify your segments, as you will be after you have done it for a while. For some, you may find it more efficient and effective too. So, this is my homework that I got from this process that I committed to do for 7 days in a row for 1 week. Carry a small notebook and physically stop and identify the segment while you write a list of your intentions in your notebook. Now, you know, when I went through the process, it was identified that to do this for me, for some, it may be, more effective and they can do it. But for me, just setting my intentions every day, like writing them down, will be too much. And that was identified. So, what was great about it is breaking it down, ideally, to start to have a process that will ideally lead me to doing this, as the process indicates, doing it this way, but starting it out as small and realistic for myself. So, having said that, my homework or my commitment to myself for this week is to get a small notebook, maybe have one in the kitchen, have one I don't know, in the bathroom or whatever, I think where it's possible I'm not going to not do, where it's where it is unlikely that will not be doing this, carrying this out every day with ease, with enjoyment, and without it feeling like a task where I have to go and find a notebook now. So have a notebook. Put possibly multiple notebooks in different places with a little pen attached to it. So every time I'm moving from one segment to the next, like for example, like I'm working on my computer on a task and I got to go to the washroom. I just take my notebook and I can write even in code W. Don't That's it. And then I go to the washroom. So every time I'm entering a segment, I'm jotting down in my notebook before I go into that new segment what it is. And I could do it in in like very short, codes like W, or say if I'm moving into making dinner, I could put like D for dinner, and that's it. And the purpose that came out for me, that was explained of the whole intention for this process is to really pause and break the pattern before I move into something else. So that's my home. I don't know exactly. Well, I mean, I know there's nothing but positivity that can come out of this one. That's why I've agreed. Like I know that spiritually, and that's why I have agreed and committed to taking this on for myself. So that's what I'm going to do for this week, and I'm looking forward to really, because I don't pause a lot. Like when I pause, I'm pausing to think, and sometimes that's a problem for me because that's my very issues, thinking and having to analyze and having to fix things and think it through, which eventually gets me into that resistance mode and tired, and then I end up doing nothing or not much or not you know, as productive as would have liked it to be. So this helps me to just pause, break the pattern, break the energy before I enter into something new. In this case, as it's called and as it's given, a new segment. So I'm really looking forward to taking this on this week for myself. Thank you.